We live.
What?
We're live right now, Sandy.
We're live.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Monroe Live. We're here at CES 2023. We're in booth 3247. Stop by and see us. A few people saw the live stream and came by today, so it worked.
Oh, excellent. Good deal.
So today we're going to do a little bit of Q&A. And these questions came in through a lot of our loyal followers, but also a lot of influencers that follow us. Do you remember Josh West from Canada?
Yep.
He's the first question. So here we go.
Okay, good.
From @JoshWest247. What are your thoughts on the current software situation at legacy auto manufacturers? Will they need to partner with technology companies such as Apple or Microsoft in order to survive?
Great question. Okay, so I was just at the Ram booth, looking at the new Ram, and after I was done, Grace and I were accosted by a lot of people. One of them was a German who said he needs to get out of Volkswagen because he cannot believe how bad the situation is with software, especially, but actually even the hardware. So I believe that there's going to be some serious issues. The next thing that happened was I walked by the BlackBerry booth and found out that operating systems are huge with BlackBerry. They've got almost everybody. And one guy told me that that's actually the operating system used on SpaceX. I think that what's going to happen is an operational systems are going to go to third parties. And I think it's going to happen a lot faster than we can believe. And some of the stuff will probably go to maybe Google or Apple or something like that for some of the communications. But for the OS, for the operating system, I believe that based on what I've heard and seen from a variety of different OEMs when I was at the BlackBerry booth, sounds like everybody's heading in their direction.
Yeah, and someone came by our booth yesterday and he was working on the operating system for GM, the Ultify software package. And even GM's having a longer term approach. They want the vehicle to be updatable for over a decade. And that is not the GM of past, because I know I had an old GM product that was pretty much obsolete after 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
It was hardware locked and software was locked into the hardware.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't know. This is great. Second question from @BeardedTesla, a really nice guy.
Yeah.
He was at our influencer event.
Yeah, we had drinks. Yeah.
From an engineering standpoint, how hard would it be for Legacy to simply replicate what Tesla is doing? More specifically, castings and battery tech. Are we already seeing some of this trickle into cars now?
Yes, almost everybody. We've been informed by almost every other car company that they are moving in the direction of castings for sure. And yesterday, when I was being interviewed by somebody, I mentioned that a normal car production line is about 60-second cycle. Tesla is doing a 40-second cycle in China. Well, I've been corrected. That is really a 34-second cycle for the body shop. Nobody can do that, not without casting. So everybody has figured it out, and now we're moving into a different paradigm. And so I believe that the guys at Hydra, the casting company, they're probably going to be extremely busy, and hopefully people will get. They're the best that we've seen, so I hope they move in the right direction.
Yeah, and my take on this, so more specifically castings and battery tech, I'd go even further. Thermal systems.
Thermal systems have got to move.
Yeah.
Exactly.
The first thermal systems we saw on PHEVs, HEVs, and BEVs were really primitive, fragmented, off-the-shelf components. Right. The level of integration we've seen from TI Fluid Systems and other suppliers is matching what we see from Tesla.
Yeah, actually, TI is probably the best opportunity for moving to a new system, simply because they think in the right direction. They think like Tesla.
Yeah, and another thing I want to bring up is even on a micro level, when you're connecting boards to boards, we're sharing a booth here with Ariso, and they have a lot of great solutions from board-to-board connections.
Yeah.
We used to see really primitive ways that circuit boards were connected.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of solutions out there that we're seeing trickling down from higher-end componentry into automotive. So, I don't know.
Yep.
Third question from Sawyer Merritt, who has a huge following on Twitter, by the way, hundreds of thousands. In terms of manufacturing techniques, and their technology, how many years ahead of Tesla's closest competition do you think they are? I know what you normally say. You normally say 7 to 10 years.
Yeah, right. So 7 to 10 is absolutely 100% correct for software. But on hardware, people are moving a little bit faster.
Mm-hmm.
And I had a look at the mock-up that they've got over at the Ram truck thing. And it looks like they got the idea for a better integration on their electric motor system.
Yeah.
Now, they may be buying that, but I know for sure that Ford Motor Company is moving at warp speed to try and get from maybe 150 or 200 ECUs, electronic control units. They're like boxes that can be this size down to that size. So they're moving as fast as they can to try and consolidate. And the goal is for most people to get around 50. I think Tesla has about 100 right now.
A little less than that, I think.
Really?
Yeah. And another aspect of that, to answer that question, is some OEMs were slightly ahead of Tesla 3 or 4 years ago in some areas of the car. Think of the Lucid Drive unit.
Right, yeah.
Really, really compact from a gravimetric, volumetric perspective, but they really struggled to launch and they had delays and delays. And now it's either on par now with technology around the environment. But when they first announced what they were going to do, they were a little bit ahead. So you have a lot of leapfrogging on smaller systems in the vehicle. Right. And not any OEM is leading in every area of the car.
No, there's no such thing as a clear leader on everything, but the clear leader is Tesla.
Yeah. Question number 4, Sandy. This is from @JerryRigEverything, who was also at the show.
Was out it, yeah.
Which does Monroe prefer in EVs? Pouch-style lithium batteries or cylindrical lithium batteries?
I prefer the cylindrical simply because there's no chance at all for a fire. With cylindrical battery jelly, let's talk about it. One's called a sandwich. That's your pouch-style battery, and the other one's called a jelly roll. And with a jelly roll, it's easy to make. I can make them by the billions, and I can do it really, really quickly, and it's very, very safe. If I'm putting a little tag on for each one of the, like to the anode and cathode, it takes a little bit of extra time. However, I know that if one of those batteries ignites or melts the connector, I've just lost 3 volts, and that's about it.
Yeah, it's typically contained within the can, and vents down, doesn't propagate to other cans. When you have pouch style,
you're
they typically
get
cascading effect.
Exactly. Yeah. So if you look at the biggest battery out there, which is the 4680, it's going to be about that big in diameter and about that long. When you look at a pouch style container, they're about this long and about that wide, and there's a lot of juice inside there, enough to create a fire and they're fragile. They don't like to be bent. And if you bend them and they short out inside, with one goes, you get all of them going at the same time. The only thing you save is the number of connections to these modules.
That's correct. All right. Question number 5 from @JamminWestby. What auto products in 2023 are you most interested in seeing in person / production? If any, what kind of improvements is your team discovering in new iterations of EV products from Legacy Auto, such as the 2023 Lightning, the new Bolt, etc.? Are there any auto manufacturers you have excitement about seeing serious R&D to improve their initial lineup?
Okay, that's a long question. Yeah, let's do them one at a time. I forgot the first one already.
What products are you most interested in seeing in person or in production? So something that's been announced that isn't out.
Okay, so Canoo, I was a big doubter on Canoo. I drove that vehicle. I think that's got legs. I see a lot of opportunity for that vehicle. I'm excited about that. Around here, there's like 20 or 30 different vehicles, and one of the ones that I'm the most excited to look at is some of these big giant dump trucks.
Yeah.
I would really like to see how we can get out of the diesel business and into the electric business. That would be something that I'd be really, really excited about. Being as we've got, we're doing semis and whatnot now. And by the way, that's another one. I really want to have a Tesla semi. So that's kind of the first one.
The second question, I'll sum it up for you. there's some legacy auto vehicles out there,
yeah.
like the Lightning and the Bolt.
Yeah.
Which one do you want to see a refresh of?
I would like to see. The Bolt is just refreshed, and it's up to okay. The Lightning is pretty good. It jumped out in front of everybody. But I think that I'd like to see the Lightning, bespoke Lightning, a new Lightning, not a version that looks kind of like the F-150, but a new Lightning that looks revolutionary. That's what I would like to see.
Yeah. Question number 6. At B_energized. Sandy, what prompted you in your life to become interested in tearing down vehicles?
Okay, so I've been tearing down stuff my whole life. Both Cory and I, we didn't grow up with silver spoons in our mouths. So I was continuously fixing things. One of the things I found out when I was working on the farm was I did not like picking tomatoes or apples or any other damn thing. But the farmers started to figure out that if something went wrong, Sandy could fix it. And then I became a tool maker. Basically, when you're a tool maker as an apprentice, the first thing you learn how to do is take machines that are broken, take them apart, make new gears or design new clutches or pour Babbitt bearings, whatever. That's the kind of stuff that I was doing. So I've been doing that sort of stuff for forever. When I went to Ford, the only way that I could get anybody to move on a new design for an engine was to show them a different engine. So buying an engine, tearing it apart, and then showing what's different or what could be done. And then from there, we moved into Monroe & Associates. And actually, Monroe & Associates, our first job was an engine redesign. And that was for Ford Motor Company. And it was benchmarking between the Ford 351W and what was the Chevy 357 or something like that?
It's the old LS platform. Is that before the LS?
Yeah, it was the old clunker. Anyhow, at the end of the day, so we've been doing it forever.
All right. Good answer.
Yeah.
Question number 7. At Soco Bleezer, what innovations are you seeing at CES, and how big of a deal is casting to the industry?
Okay, let me do the last one first. The casting, as far as I'm concerned, has been the right answer for a number of years. Everybody said that, oh, we're not doing body on frame, we're doing a skateboard. Skateboard is just a body on frame with a different name. I think that the casting epidemic that's happening right now is just absolutely going to go completely viral. I think that I'm not supposed to give stock information, but but I think that that's an industry that's definitely going to take off. And at CES, I was shocked by so many things. I don't know where to start. I mean, first off, with BlackBerry, I had no idea that BlackBerry was basically the operating system for so many different vehicles. They went from, I thought they were dead. I loved their phones, but anyhow, I'm very, very impressed with that. I've seen so many different vehicles, like the Toyota that's right next door to us. There's a lot of different vehicles.
There's a wide array of companies here. From Iriso, we're sharing the booth with. They make connectors. You have Garmin right there that makes smartwatches. Toyota Oshuku that has a concept of some sort of, I don't know.
It's a city transporter.
System. You have Zoox over there, traditional OEMs, Mitsubishi, John Deere, Caterpillar. It's really a wide mix of technologies here.
I think that this is a kind of excitement that everybody should be able to get a chance to look at. And I realize that it's very difficult to get into the show without being part of a company or something like that. But really and truly, this should be open to the general public so they can see what's going on.
Yeah. All right, next question. At John 4 Lakers, Tesla has a bit of a reputation for poor build quality. Is that merited? Should buyers think twice about Tesla or no?
No. In the beginning, when we first tore apart the Model 3, that was crap. But now, I mean, their build quality is as good as anybody's. I put them up against Bentley. I mean, they really, we don't see bad paint jobs. We don't see gap problems. We don't see missed componentry. We don't see any of that stuff anymore out of a Tesla.
Yeah.
It's just as good as anybody else.
All right. Next question. At all EV vehicles, what would the teardown Titan build up? If Sandy could take the best parts from each manufacturer to create the ultimate EV, how would he assemble it? Batteries, motors, technology, safety. What would he pick from and from who?
Most of the stuff would probably still come from Tesla because I'm enamored with so much of their stuff. I don't think I've seen anything that I would. Well, actually, what I would like to see is maybe the Lucid electric motor and controller. I think it's hard to beat the 4680 battery pack. I can't even begin to say that it could be possible to.
My friends,
my
friends are here.
Now we got a real party. Yes, we're going live. So
we are live.
Anybody know who this is? This is John McElroy.
He's a legend in his own mind.
He's a legend for sure, and he's still wearing Sony. Ladies, oh my God! Here, let me help you out. There we go. There we go.
Get a Monroe.
Oh man! Lanyard. Hey.
Look at that. Now I'm
we
cooking
just don't
with
give
gas.
this to anybody, you know. Yeah.
Oh, and by the way, subscribe to Autoline.
Autoline
on
yes.
YouTube.
Go to YouTube. Go to the Autoline channel. Subscribe. Yes.
There you are. Very
You're
good.
almost
and
at-
you can look at. See, it's right here. Yes.
That's right.
So, for everybody who doesn't know, the very first video that ever came out about Monroe tearing cars to pieces, electric cars to pieces, was done on Autoline Detroit.
Yeah.
This is the guy who got everything going for us. And then Cory, when we went into bankruptcy or almost bankruptcy, Cory said, "Hey, why don't we try YouTube?" Now, my son, Alistair, my son, had said that with the old regime and was promptly told that no one's going to watch anybody taking cars apart. But after we found out what happened with John, Cory and I started making videos.
You guys supercharged it.
And,
Now you're a YouTube media star.
Hey, great.
And so what we should say too is Sandy and I go way back before I did Autoline stuff.
Yeah.
I met Sandy you had done this redesign of a Ford Ranger. And you took like 57 parts out of it, out of the front end, just the front end, and you couldn't tell the difference.
Yeah.
I.e., you took so much cost and manual labor out of it and still ended up with a product that was just the same as before. It
actually crashed better. Yeah. Everything worked out.
So I saw Sandy do that presentation and I went, I got to get to know this guy.
Yeah. So we've been doing this stuff for quite a while, and maybe 30. I would say about 35 years, almost 35 years, because I was still at Ford when you were.
That's right.
Asking me, so it'd be over 35 years.
Yeah. We go way back.
That's right. Yeah. So watch this video and keep watching because no telling how long either one of us are going to be around.
I might as well leave now.
No. You hang around here too, Cory. So what are you guys doing at the show? I mean, obviously you're displaying and all that, but anything specific that you got going here?
Oh, we got a ton of interviews with different. So we're doing everything
CEOs
from
and
John Deere
CTOs.
John Deere to Ram. I was over there having a look at that.
At their electric truck.
Yeah, the electric truck.
The concept. They're not saying too much about it right now.
It's a concept, and there's no way you can put that into the market.
Can I ask you some questions about it? Do you know more, or is it?
This is live streaming right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What about the range extender? What do you know about that?
I know what they said at what do you call it, Motor Trend. They said it was 500 miles and for the battery pack and a range extender.
I thought they said 400. Or no, they said over 400. That's right.
500. And
for the battery pack.
They won't tell you that at all.
No, they won't. They got the chassis there too.
Yeah, I saw that.
I was like, where are you going to package a range extender? unless they
Well,
have a
no,
different version of it.
If you look at it in front of the front suspension,
Yeah.
there's a great big giant chunk,
Okay.
and there's nothing there. You could drop.
There's a bigger chunk behind the rear axle.
I don't know whether they want to do that. But I can tell you for sure that if I put a like the Pentastar engine in front, put it sideways, I could either put it an alt-start generator, or I could turn the front wheel, turn it into front wheel drive. There's a lot of things that you could do with that empty open space in the front.
Yeah.
I don't know what I didn't see it. I'd see about 40 to 60 miles in that. If that's the size of the battery pack, that's about it. There's not much. There's no way. It's just small.
Yeah.
And those electric motors look big. They are thirsty. They're going to be sucking up some juice. So you could put that in the front, or you could double up on the battery packs, and then stretch the truck a bit so that you could get more room in. But I don't know. I did like the one thing where you can put an 18-foot board in. That was good.
With the mid-gate. Yeah. GM had that years ago in the Avalanche.
Yeah. Well, I went and did a study for Bollinger for one of the investors, and that was the thing I liked the best about the Bollinger with that.
That pass-through, yeah.
Yeah, the pass-through.
So what else have you seen at the show, or have you had a chance to go around?
We've seen almost everything, and we're going to be doing a couple more videos here
in the central hall.
In the central hall, yeah. And but mostly what I'm thinking is all these new little innovations. One guy just came up with this breakaway system for people with plug-in electric cars. We've got a guy that's going to give you free groceries, free beer. Okay,
sign me up.
Yeah,
where's that place?
We're going to be interviewing him tomorrow. I mean, there's everything here.
Yeah.
Everything. There's
a lot of good stuff. So have you seen this E-Leap Power from Canada, from Toronto? So I got to go searching around. Project Aero is exhibiting here.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that.
Okay, I got to go find. So Project Aero is a Canadian project, all EV, all Canadian content, luxury SUV.
You know what? We did. Two guys came up and started talking, but we got kind of like.
It's been all hush hush. So I heard about it about a year and a half ago, and nobody would tell me zip about it. And, little whispers here and there, but so interesting backstory. In the 1950s, Canada developed a jet fighter. And the idea was for the United States and NATO to buy it. Exactly. Yeah. And then the U.S. went, nah, we're going to do our own jet. And so the whole project collapsed after all this time and effort. So now as they're reviving, let's do an all Canadian content EV and show the world what Canada can do. They called it Project Aero. But anyway, fast forward to this E-Leap Power. They figured out how to throw the onboard charger out of an EV and use the windings in the electric motor to do AC to DC inverter stuff. And so they've taken this big lump of, a bulky multi-$1,000 onboard, just get rid of it and triple the charging speed.
Oh, I got to go and have a look.
You got to check this out.
Yeah,
to me, it's the best automotive technology I've seen at CES this year.
I never even heard of it. So
I saw your tweet on it. Is that what you tweeted out?
Yeah. I tweeted it, and we've just posted a video on YouTube with the CEO of the company. And
wow, where are they located here?
Project Aero has got a booth here, and I don't know where it is yet. So, I was just wandering around when I saw you guys, and one of your people said, go in and crash them talking.
Oh, there we go.
That's Eric for you.
Yeah. Well, I need to know, because I'd like to go and find out what's going on there. Yeah. One of my teachers, when I was at in high school, the drafting guy, he was on that project. He was on the original,
the fighter jet.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it was absolutely fabulous. That thing was wonderful. But the reason it failed was because it was all Canadian. The jet engines were Canadian. The build was Canadian. But they missed the boat on one thing. They had to have missiles. And that's when the U.S. said, hey, are we going to throw one of our guys out of business? Oh, maybe not. And then the French said,
Sacre bleu.
Sacre bleu, yeah, I do not like the idea of Canada taking away our our aero business. So they wound up with a great jet plane, that a fighter that couldn't fight.
They couldn't sell. They couldn't sell it, right?
They couldn't get a missile for it.
So I've seen a couple of other cool things here. Simple but effective for ZF.
Yeah.
Has got heated seat belts.
Yeah.
So, you know, in an electric car, you don't want to heat the whole cabin. You use the heated seats, the heated steering wheel. So now they got belts that'll go up to 104 degrees F.
Oh, no kidding.
And so, again, you don't have to heat the whole cabin. You can keep warm and snug that way. I thought that was clever.
I was walking by and they were talking about it, but I didn't have time to stop.
Yeah. And it's used the same buckles, pretensioner. You don't have to change a thing. Just use that belt.
Just probably wound into the belt itself.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I was at Borg Warner. They bought a San Diego company called Rhombus that does DC fast chargers. They're the only ones, they claim, that do DC bidirectional fast charging. They make them in Dearborn, Michigan.
Dearborn?
But anyway, here's why I wanted to bring it up, because they worked with, I think it was a California school system, and they said, well, we'll try this bidirectional stuff. So they did a couple of buses this way in one summer, selling electricity back to the utility in peak periods, buying it cheap at low demand, selling it $10,000 a bus they made just in a summer, one bus. So I was like, holy crap, I had no idea you could make that kind of money, you know, selling electricity back to the, and so that was kind of
like
pretty
a
cool.
peaker plant. That's kind of like, you know, we have a bunch of them in Michigan, peaker plants. They suck water up in the nighttime and then let it go through a turbine at night in the daytime.
Wow.
Yeah, but this sounds like something a lot more commercially viable, I guess.
Yeah, you can buy them right now. And that's the other thing, because they're made in the US, they can deliver you a DC fast charger. I think they said in like 4 to 6 weeks. Everybody else is talking 10 to 12 months, you know, because it's coming from Asia or Europe or wherever.
Yeah, mostly Europe. Yeah. Wow. You're just
look, you know, look, you know, I've been walking all around doing a zillion interviews. These are a few of the things I picked up on. But I mean, the show is so big. There's so much going on. All you do is skim the surface, right? And that's why I like listening to what you've heard or seen and sharing what I've learned, because collectively, then we get a better idea of what's going on at CES.
Well, to me, like I said, I was shocked with the stuff that I saw from BlackBerry. I had no idea that they had that much going on as far as operating systems are concerned. Almost everybody's got it. And I don't know, I got to check this out. But one of the guys told me when I was wandering around looking at stuff, he said that the operating system for SpaceX, same
QNX? Is it QNX? Are they still using that? Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
So there you go.
Good.
That, I mean, I've been blown away by a lot of stuff here. That's for sure.
Cool.
I mean, it's a fabulous show.
Yeah, it is. Look, it's the best car show in the world. That's how I describe it. The best car show in the world.
And I would agree.
Yeah,
I really do, because there's not a lot of time wasted with, you know, who won the best beauty pageant or something like that. It's all, here's the technology.
That's right.
That's what I'm really here for.
And what I also like is you get companies arguing. So I've visited with a lot of LiDAR companies. And one will say, oh, we're a solid state. And the next one will say solid state is crap. And then the next one will say, we don't have any moving parts. And the other one says, well, we make millions with moving parts. And it's so funny to hear them all arguing against each other.
Yeah. Well, I just had a bunch of guys from Tesla come up here and I said, when are you guys going to move to forward-looking infrared? Well, you know, we have cameras. No, really and truly, if you're going to get to the next generation of ADAS,
you got to see in the dark.
You got to be able to see in the dark and through snow and rain and everything else.
Right.
And nobody, absolutely nobody that I know of, makes a missile or a bomb that uses cameras or just LiDAR or just radar or anything else.
You know, LiDAR is getting so cheap right now. Throw it on. I mean,
yeah, who cares? But I'm thinking, let's take the step. And if you go to forward-looking infrared, not only can I see through the rain and the fog and the snow and every other damn thing, I can also see through literally bird shit and things like that. And I can tell you what the color of the color of the cat, or you can tell the difference between a cat and a dog with this stuff. I mean, I like that. I like LiDAR.
Well, look, sorry I crashed your show,
Oh,
but it's
no.
so cool to be
Thank
with you
you so
guys.
much,
Yeah.
John. Thank you.
I'm going to go, if I find Project Arrow,
Yeah,
I'll
can you
text
bring-
you
yeah.
the booth number.
Cool. That'll be
Okay.
great. All
Okay.
right, good.
Thanks, you guys. Take care.
Yeah, thank
Thanks,
you.
John.
Yeah, thanks, John.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao. Yeah.
Wow, that was a nice
Yeah,
drop up.
yeah.
Now
Wow.
we're getting the wrap up signal here. We only had one question left. This is from Farzad. So
Oh,
Farziness,
Fazard. Yeah.
what type of gross margins are realistic for Tesla's Megapack product? Are 60% margins out of the question? The Megapack product. Some
60% margins. It's pretty hard to hit 60%, but I'll bet you 45.
all right.
I would easily say 45 because we already know that the car.
Yeah.
We know what the car margins are, and they are higher than everybody. Here's something that we can add to that. Everybody's predicting that somehow Tesla is going to fold its tents up and disappear. Well, that ain't going to happen. It isn't going to happen with Rivian or anybody else either, because they've got cash in the bank, real cash. I think that probably Tesla. I don't know about anybody else, but Tesla could probably drop their price by. They could cut their profit margin in half, still make more than everybody else is making, and probably capture more market share.
That's correct.
Yeah.
All right.
So.
Well,
Anyhow.
thanks for the questions, everybody.
Yes,
Hopefully we
thank you.
answered all
Yeah.
of them. Once
And
again,
thanks to John McElroy for showing up and giving us.
yeah,
his
I
opinion.
was standing here and I could see him over there, and I'm like, it was seeing a ghost. And then
Yeah.
Eric went over and grabbed him. So thanks to Eric for grabbing him. All right, so we're going to wrap this up. Thanks for watching the live stream.
Yep.
Once again, we're at CES 2023, booth number 3247. Come say hi. There's 4 or 5 people here, I think, standing here waiting to talk to Sandy. So,
Yep.
all right.
Okay.
Talk to you
Alrighty.
later. Bye.
Bye bye. There we are.